On behalf of Learn IT Courses Online, welcome to this session. My name is Bashir Fadl, and I'd like to welcome you. We continue our journey into the career of a business analyst. In today's session, we're going to look into modeling and how that works and fits into the career of the business analyst. A business model. A business model can be defined as the representation of a business or solution that often includes a graphic component along with supporting text and relationships to other components. For example, if we have to understand a company's business model, then we would like to study the following areas. What are the core values of the company? What it serves? What sets it apart? Its key resources, major relationships, its delivery channels. With the help of modeling techniques, we can create a complete description of existing and proposed organizational structures, processes, and information used by the enterprise. Business model is a structured model, just like a blueprint for the final product to be developed. It gives structure and dynamics for planning. It also provides the foundation for the final product. So what is the purpose of the business modeling? Business modeling is used to design current and future state of an enterprise. This model is used by the business analyst and the stakeholders to ensure that they have an accurate understanding of the current as-is model of the enterprise. It is used to verify if stakeholders have a shared understanding of the proposed to be of the solution. As we can see in the upper state of the diagram, analyzing requirements is a part of the business modeling process, and it forms the core focus area. Functional requirements are gathering together the current state. These requirements are provided by the stakeholders regarding the business process, data, and business rules that describe the desired functionality, which will be designed in the future state. Performing gap analysis. After defining the business needs, the current state, for example, current business process, business functions, features of a current system and service product offered, and events that system must respond to, must be identified to understand how people, processes, and technology, structure, and architecture are supporting the business by seeking input from IT staff and other related stakeholders, including business owners. A gap analysis is then performed to assess if there is any gap that prevents from achieving the business needs by comparing the identified current state with the desired outcomes. If there is no gap, that is, the current state is adequate to meet the business needs and desired outcomes, it will probably not be necessary to launch the IT project. Otherwise, the problems, issues required to be addressed in the order to bridge the gap should be identified. Techniques such as SWOT, short for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats analysis and document analysis can be used. To assess proposed system, business analysts should assist the IT project team in assessing the proposed IT system to ensure that it meets the business needs and maximize the values delivered to stakeholders. Business analysts should also review the organization readiness for supporting the transition to the proposed IT system to ensure a smooth system implementation. Business analysts should help the IT project team to determine whether the proposed system option and the high-level system design could meet the business needs and deliver enough business value to justify the investment. If there are more than one system options, business analysts should work with the IT staff to help to identify the pros and cons of each option and select the option that delivers the greatest business value. So now let's examine the guiding principles for business modeling. The primary role of the business modeling is mostly during inception stage and elaboration stages of projects, and it fades during the construction and transitioning stage. It is mostly to do with analytical aspects of business combined with technical mapping of the application or software solution. So the top four are domain and user variation, which means developing a business model will frequently reveal areas of disagreement or confusion between stakeholders. The business analyst will need to document the following variations in the as-is model. Number two, multiple work units perform the same function. So document the variances in the as-is model. This may be different divisions or geographies. Number three, multiple users perform the same work. Different stakeholders may do similar work differently. The variations may be the result of different skill sets and approaches of different business units, or the result of differing needs of external stakeholders serviced by the enterprise. So document the variances in the as-is model. Finally, number four, resolution mechanism. The business analyst should document whether the to-be solution will accommodate the inconsistencies in the current business model, or whether the solution will require standardization. Stakeholders need to determine which approach to follow. And of course, the to-be model will reflect their decision. So let's examine a business analyst role in modeling an ERP system. What is it? ERP? It's an enterprise resource planning system. Enterprise resource planning is a process used by companies to manage and integrate important parts of their business. Many ERP software applications are important to companies because they help them implement resource planning by integrating all of the processes needed to run their companies with a single system. An ERP software can also integrate planning, purchasing, inventory, sales, marketing, finance, human resources, and more. Example of a business analyst role in modeling an ERP system. A business analyst is supposed to define a standard business process and set up into an ERP system, which is of key importance for efficient implementation. It is also the duty of a business analyst to define the language of the developers in understandable language before the implementation, and then utilize best practices and map them based on the system capabilities. A requirement to the system is the gap fit analysis, which has to be balanced between two things. Number one, the need for the technical changes, which are the enhancements in order to achieve identity with existing practice. And then number two, effective changes, which are related to re-engineering of existing business processes to allow for implementation of the standard functionality and application of process models. So let's go a step further with a functional business analyst. Domain expertise is generally acquired over a period by being in the business of doing things. For example, a banking associate gains knowledge of various types of accounts that a customer, whether individual or business, can operate along with detailed business process flow. An insurance sales representative can understand the various stages involved in procuring of an insurance policy. A marketing analyst has more chances of understanding the key stakeholders and business processes involved in a customer relationship management system. A business analyst involved in capital markets projects is supposed to have subject matter expertise and strong knowledge of equities, fixed income, and derivatives. Also, they are expected to have handled back office, front office, practical exposure in applying risk management models. A healthcare business analyst, for example, should have basic understanding of healthcare, financial, and utilization matrices, technical expertise, experience, ICD codifications. So some business analysts acquire domain knowledge by testing business applications and working with the business users. They create a conductive or conducive learning environment through their interpersonal and analytical skills. In some cases, they supplement their domain knowledge with a few domain certifications offered by different organizations. As such, it's important for a functional business analyst to acquire some knowledge of the domain or the nature of the enterprise or the sector of the enterprise that they're working in. Other major activities. Following a thorough examination of current business processes, you can offer highly professional assistance in identifying the optimal approach of modeling the system. Organizing the preparation of a formalized and uniform description of business processes in a manner ensuring efficient automation in the system. Assistance to your team in filing out standard questionnaires for the relevant system as it may be furnished by the developers. Participation in working meetings requirements towards the developers are defined. Check and control as to whether the requirements set to you have been properly reproduced and recorded in the documents describing the future model in the system's blueprints. Preparation of data and assisting for prototyping the system. Assistance in preparation of data for migration of lists and balances in the format required by the system. Review of the setup prototype for compliance with the requirements defined by the business process owners. Acting as a support resource to your IT team in preparing data and actual performance of functional and integration tests in the system. In summary, a business model can be defined as a representation of a business or solution that often include a graphical component along with supporting text and relationships to other components. Thank you for joining us in this session about modeling in the career of a business analyst. We look forward to seeing you in the next session.